I'm checking the time. Thank you. Thank you. But the remaining is just practice it. Practice it. Guys, Damon, Bassi, Camogelo, what are we saying? Are you guys sleeping? Yeah, you need practice, but yeah, it's ridiculous. It's easy, but it's required practice. Can you imagine that this is the longest chapter and the toughest? But no, it's not hard. If you practice it, it's not hard. But one thing we can agree is that it makes sense. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Kamogel. You first of all need to know if it makes sense. And if it makes sense, then work now, practice from there. It's the same thing as this one. You guys saw this economic ordering quantity. Did you see this? You might be like, oh no, there is a formula. We're just going to apply the formula. But guys, you need to read to understand what it's all about. And it's a very simple principle is that there are three groups of costs associated with an inventory. When you are ordering for inventory, there is ordering costs that are involved. You can see people have warehouses. Those warehouses are not just beautiful buildings just to look cool. Obviously, it's money. When you have warehousing, you need to have security. Why? Because people can come in and steal, right? So there is a cost involved with holding an inventory or carrying an inventory. There is a cost. All right? Even when you are shipping a product. Let's say you are an entrepreneur. Yesterday I just spoke to a Chinese woman because I wanted to order stuff from China, right? And she says, well, but the shipping cost from China to South Africa is going to be quite a lot. I'm speaking to you entrepreneurs, right? You need to deal with things like that. So, and I understand because people will be moving that product from China to South Africa. They're not going to do it for free. There is cost involved. There is also a cost of not carrying sufficient inventory. You are producing things and then you run out of raw materials. That's not good for your business. I mean, your business will shut down, will come to an halt. Why is it going to come to a halt? Because you don't have sufficient inventory. So they want you to understand this logic because you're an entrepreneur. Okay, okay. Now, let's take back a little bit. So this economic, Patrick, what is this economic ordering quantity? What is it really? What they want to say is that you need to take into account the cost of ordering and the cost of holding. And I've written so big here to tell you it's all about these costs, the ordering and the holding. Okay, I still don't get it. No, I want you to look at this table. The reason why they provided you this table is they want you to understand that it will make sense for you to order and to hold enough quantity of a particular product because you need to balance the ordering cost and the holding cost. That's basically what it's all about. So they want you to find the quantity where you're going to minimize the cost of ordering and is going to be equal to the cost of holding a product. Simple. That's why I have added a scale here to say that you need to balance these two costs. Yes, your cost of ordering might be low, but if your cost of holding the product is high, it does not make economic sense. So you need to find that quantity. And that's why basically they're showing you this table. You have the order size, you have the number of orders in a year, you have the ordering cost, which is multiplied by the number of orders. So the ordering cost is multiplied by the number of orders. Yes, yes, absolutely. Who said that? Was that easy? Yeah, that's why basically I provide you this graph. Yes, I provide you this graph to show you that you will minimize the cost when you are at this level. When, remember, the average inventory, you take the order size divided by 2. That's the average. So when you reach 800 or 100, 1006 and 600 as the order size, that's where you would minimize. You can see exactly the cost is minimized. The cost is minimized, or the cost match. Basically, they want to find the point where the cost match. The cost of ordering and the cost of holding match, basically, right? So that's the reason why they gave you this formula. Simple. This is the formula. This formula will help you find exactly what is that quantity. Here is just to give you an approximation. They're saying around 1,600. That's when you will find the exact. You see, so this is not the exact. This formula is what is going to help you find the exact number, right? You are not going to take into account this part. Let me show you this part. If there is no interest, so if they don't provide you interest, the interest rate used when inventory is financed. So if they don't provide you any interest rate, you forget about this. Forget about this, because the actual formula will simply be 2DO. Sorry, my bad there. To the O. O is the ordering cost. Remember, O is the ordering cost. D is the annual demand or requirement. How much is the annual demand for the product, right? So 2 multiplied by DO and divided by H, which is the holding cost. The holding cost is a cost per unit. The ordering cost is a cost per order. Per order. How much is being ordered in one go? That's basically what it's all about. So now let's see now how many units. It provides us exactly how many units. This is the point. It's almost like, you remember that point we studied, the point that of equilibrium. What were we calling that point? The break point. You remember that break point? Guys, come on, wake up. Yep. Wonderful. Break even point. You remember that? This is the same logic. They want you to find that point where the ordering cost equals the holding cost. That's all. The ordering cost equals the holding cost. That's what it's all about. Theory. Look at the theory. The ordering costs are expressed per order, and the carrying or holding costs are expressed per unit. There we go, guys. There we go. Does this make sense, guys? Perfect. And this is just some of the costs, obviously, that are involved. Quality cost, stock out cost, ordering cost. We've just spoken about the ordering cost. The cost of purchasing. There is a cost of purchasing goods. It's the cost of the goods we are purchasing plus the cost of freight, carriage, and railage. This is just a little bit of theory so that you understand all the costs that are involved when we are dealing with inventory. So I'm going to finish with the one and only. Guys, you've read the theory, but I want to show you that the most important part of FIFO, can anyone define for me FIFO there? What is FIFO? Guys, you are having a test already. Please type for me what is FIFO. Wonderful, easy. First in, first out. But what is it? What is this FIFO and what is this weighted average when we deal with inventory? What are these two things? Yeah, you're explaining what it does, but you're not telling me what it's all about. What are these? Yes, but what are these? Come on, guys. That tells me again, problem with theory. These are valuation method. And I provided this to you, right? Here it is. I even synthesized it for you. I broke it down for you with a quick thing for you to understand that you must make the difference between an inventory system and an inventory valuation. All right? What is an inventory valuation? It helps us evaluate the inventory, right? That's where you have FIFO and weighted average. Okay? But inventory system, it's a system. It is a system. And you have one that is perpetual and periodic. What does it mean? I'm going to provide you the perfect example. In a shop, when you enter in a shop, they're going to scan the product that you're going to buy, that you're going to put in your cart. And when you're pushing that cart to the till, they're going to scan the barcode of each one of those products that you have. Automatically, it updates the system. Why? Because shops are using a perpetual inventory system. What does it mean? They know at all time what has come out and what they need to bring in to replace what has come out. Does that make sense to you? Perfect. At all time, because of technology, they know what has come out and they can even know when to replenish, right? Replenish what has come out. So they have a stock, and if that stock is close to going to finishing, they can already order. They can send out a new order request to get more of that product from the wholesaler, right? From the wholesaler, right? To say, please replenish the stock because we are running out of stock because they are using a perpetual. But now, listen now. What about that spaza shop where you go? They don't have all the machines, for example. How will they be able to track the inventory? They gonna use what we call a periodic. A periodic inventory system means that at the end of the month, then they're gonna do the count. Then they're gonna have a stock take at the end of the month because they don't have the system. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, so this is basically a little bit of your accounting. So we have two different systems and we have two different valuation methods. There is one valuation method, whatever comes in first, that's what needs to go out first. It is a very good system that helps to keep um, yes, absolutely. It's accounting. So first in, first out, weighted average, basically we're going to do an average. So every time we buy new stock, then we're going to calculate the cost per stock by doing the weighted average. All right? By doing the weighted average. First in, first out, and weighted average. And example, that's why I say before you come to this a tutorial today, you need to practice this. And I've put it side by side for you. So this is a perpetual and this is a periodic with both FIFO and weighted average. For perpetual, for periodic, FIFO method and weighted average. I want you to go today as your practice. It's 1 hour. 1 hour, guys. Are you still there? Would you like me to touch a little bit here and there, or you're gonna go work on this? Because I want you to work on this, and I've provided everything to you. Oh, you did it. And so, how did you find it? How did you find it? Camugelo, who has practiced this? Did you practice it? Did you do it earlier? Perfect, perfect. How did you find it easy? Guys, I just want to hear from you before either we leave. Uh uh perfect, perfect, perfect. Look, if you understand this, if you understand this, it's a very good sign. Yes, you are right. Camogelo. But let me ask now the entire class, please. If anybody is a bit lazy, please stop that. Stand up and practice this. So I want you to practice and to find out by yourself. And it's very simple. With FIFO, basically, you look at the purchases and this is the table you're going to use even in your exam. You don't need anybody to provide you this table. You need to know this table. Basically, there is the purchases and there's the issue. What comes in and what goes out. That's what it's all about, right? So, but for the FIFO year, what comes in, as you can see, there is 5,200 that was the balance at the beginning. So that was the end balance of the previous period. So we're going to start with that. So on the first day, we already have in our stock 5,200 at 2 rand. So that's the cost. What they're showing you here is the cost at 2 rand, sorry, 2 rand 50 cents. Exactly. But then they say that on the second, they bought 2,000 at 2.75. So now you have a stock that was bought at 2 rand 50 and another stock that was bought at 2 rand 75. You are not going to get the average of this. No, you will get the average if you are using the weighted average cost method. So if they are asking you for the weighted average cost method, you're going to take 5,200 multiplied by 2.5 plus 2,000 multiplied by 2.75 divided by the total years 7,000, the total of 5,207 and 2,000 plus 2,000 gives you 7,200. So you're gonna add up everything and multiply everything divided by 7,200. Okay, so but they tell you here A, they show you the calculation at A. If you say, oh, too complicated, oh my God, I can't understand anything, they show you exactly the calculation here at point A for the weighted average. But the first in and first out, you don't need to do that, because whatever was bought first is at its own cost. Whatever was bought second is at its own cost. Now they're issuing 5,200. Sorry, 6,000. So what are you going to do? You're going to do what came in first was 5,200. From the 6,000, you're going to take 5,200 at 2.5. That's the one that you're going to issue out. And then the 800 that you need to issue that is remaining from the 6,000, you're going to get that from the 2.75. Right? So basically that's it. I'm going to show you here, just for someone who says, well, I'm not getting anything of this, I hate numbers. There's this 5,200. The total that they issued is 6,000. But how did you get 6,000? They tell you in the question on the 8th. On the 8th, they telling you they sold 6,000 units. If you are asking, but how did you get that? Okay, they're telling you. So 5,200 of that 6,000 will come from here. There we go. Now the remaining 800 will come from where? It will come from here, from the second one. So first in is the one to go first out. Second in is to go second out. Does that make sense, guys? Perfect. I like that. I like that, Damon. Simple. Just ridiculously simple. The same thing. Now, they did also another purchase on the 13th. Yeah, it is. Of 1,000. So you're going to take the remaining. If you take 800 from these 2,000, what remains? If you take 800 from 2,000, only 1,200 remains. At which price? At this cost. Not at which price, sorry. At which cost? At 2,75. 2,75. 2 rand 75 cents. So now that they have added 1,000 new stock that has come in at 285, what is going to happen? We're going to take also that 1,000, we're going to keep it in stock, and we know that it is at this cost, 285. So with FIFO, you don't need to get the weighted average every time you buy something. But for the weighted average method, that's the difference. You just need to get the average. So if you buy new things, you need to get a new average. If you buy new stock at a new price, you need to get the new average. Making sense? There we go. So now, obviously, you need to look at what the questions they're asking you. They ask you, the first question they ask you, they say, can you value the closing inventory? Here it is. Can you value the closing inventory? What is the closing inventory though? Here it is. These are the two closing inventory on the 30th. There is 1,100 units at 2 rand 63, and then there is 1,500 units at 2 rand 85. That's all they're asking you. Wonderful, wonderful. So we are almost there, guys. We are almost finished. But I think I've covered everything. The rest, please, but you have to go and practice this by yourself. I want you to take this question and practice both methods in both inventory systems, in the perpetual inventory system as well as in the periodic inventory system. And I've put them next to each other so that you can compare, right? And what I want to hear from you guys and from you who are listening to us is that it's already more than 1 hour. So we should wrap up in about 5 minutes. But what I want to tell you, please, if you've not done this exercise, go do it by yourself, and it's gonna give you so much good feeling if you get it right. Right? Please get it right and understand the difference between the periodic and the perpetual, as well as this one, the periodic. So the FIFO within the periodic, we are no longer going to talk about purchase, what is coming in and what is going out. Because why? Why are we not talking about what is coming in and what is going out? Because in the perpetual system, we know at any time what should come in, what should go out. But in the periodic, we do it at the end. So we need to deal with the number of units that is coming in and the number of sales separately. That's the difference. Because we do a periodic stock take at the end of the month, for example, then we will check how much did we get, how much did we buy during the month, and how much did we sell. Then we check our profit or loss. Is everybody understanding this? That's the difference between periodic and perpetual. Perpetual, what comes in, what goes out needs to be known. That's why you can look at the dates. On this date, something came in. On this date, something came out. Purchases issue, because we need to know that at any time. That's not the same here. Here you will deal with the purchases by themselves and you will deal with the sales separately. Does that make sense? Perfect. 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 All right, guys. So, but thank you so much for showing up. It was lovely. Like I said, it is a long chapter, but it should not scare you. It's just too big. It's like Tyson Fury versus uh, what is that guy from Ukraine? It's like Tyson Fury and Usyk. You saw that Usyk won. You are Usyk. So don't be impressed by the size of these things. They're not that difficult. Read, take your time to read properly, and then deal with it.